Hey, how's it going, everybody? Um, we've all heard it before. I know you have. The fortune is in the follow-up. Does that sound familiar? Have you heard this term before, this saying, this phrase, but you just don't quite understand what it means or how to take action on follow-up? Like, what is follow-up? What are we supposed to do to follow up? And how does that affect our business as as network marketers? That's what we'll be talking about today. So hang in there, stay tuned, and we'll get right to it. Hey there, Isai Rodriguez coming at you with more tips, tricks, and advice so that you can get the most out of your network marketing business. So as you're hopping on, if you could, give me a thumbs up, show me some love, let me know where you're tuning in from on this beautiful blue planet. And let me know what the weather is like by you. I'm always interested to know, where this message gets out to and how the weather is, in your neck of the woods. So, first of all, let me apologize for if I'm sniffling or if I sneeze or anything like that. I'm kind of getting over a little something. I'm not exactly sure if I'm coming down with it or if I'm getting over it. I'm not quite sure. But, here I am. I'm here to deliver you some value. So, the fortune is in the follow. But now, what exactly does that mean? Because I know when I first started network marketing, I kind of like I would hear this a lot, and I always wondered like, what exactly does that mean? Like I had this huge question mark over my head, wondering, what is this follow up, and why do they say that the fortune is in the follow up? I never understood that. And so, as I usually do, I immersed myself in some training, some videos, some mentoring, uplines. I just kind of dug right into it to figure out what exactly this meant and more importantly, what it meant to me and my business and what it is I have to do to follow up and make things happen. So drop in the comments if you feel like like what are some things that you do as your as part of your follow up. I like to I'm curious to know what you guys put out there. Like what do you consider follow up or part of your follow up, or what is your definition of it? Drop it in the comments if you would. I would really appreciate that. So I know, well, let's go back a little. I want to share a little story with you about myself, actually. Like I felt when I first started this industry, when I first started this business, I would go out there all gun ho. I was like, I had all the facts pretty much memorized, or the ones that I did know anyway. And I don't know if you've suffered from this, but you ever approach somebody and like you're waiting for that opportunity to, to present what it is that you're doing, what you're up to, your product, your opportunity, and you get that moment, you get that chance, and you just kind of like start rattling and rattling and rattling, and like you start mentioning every fact that you know, every little detail that you know, and like your whoever it is that you're talking to kind of starts, I don't know, they get like this glazed look on their eyes, and they're kind of following you, kind of not. If that's happened to you, drop me a one in the comments. I know it's happened to me. It generally happens to everybody when they first start, and it happens so much that they've coined it verbal vomiting, like when you just kind of essentially just vomiting all these words out and all this data and all these facts onto your prospect, and you just like, you're just letting it all out, and it's like, I need to get it all out because you need to understand this, and once you understand all of it, then then and only then will you make a decision. And let me tell you, not only does that not work, but you will alienate that person to no extent. Like they will never want to talk to you about that topic ever again. They're probably thinking like, damn, why did I ask? Like I shouldn't have asked, you know. But hey, we all start somewhere, and I was there too. I thought that everybody that I spoke to right then and there had to join or not join, and obviously more didn't join than did join. But that's essentially because we have this perception that we have to convert somebody on that first exposure, and that's not the way it works. That's not how marketing works. That's not how selling works. That's not how business works. It doesn't work that way. What does work and how the natural progression is that you have to essentially follow up with your prospect and continue to educate them on your product or opportunity until they get to the point where they can make an educated decision. And so, what exactly does that mean? What exactly does following up mean for you and your business and your prospects? So, I want to go over four things here that you should keep in consideration, like keep at the top of your head when you're approaching someone, or when you're going to follow up with someone, I should say. So you meet someone, or you've been, if it's on social media, then you've chatted with them a few times and you're building that relationship, and you essentially approach them about your product. And let's say they show interest, right? So obviously, like I said, you're not gonna close the deal on that first exposure. I mean, it does happen. Let me not say that you're not going to. It does happen, but it's rare. It's like 9 out of 10 cases you're not gonna close that deal on the first, on that first presentation. And so, the first thing you want to keep in mind when you're following up is you want to do what it is that you say you're going to do. So when you first initially reach out to someone and you show them the presentation and you say, hey, I'm going to reach out to you at such and such time. I'll give you a call, or I'll shoot you a text, or, let's get on a 3-way call. Like, make sure that happens. If you tell them that you're going to text them at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday, then make sure you text them at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. If you tell them that you're going to call them, make sure that you call them at the time and the number that you've agreed upon. That's the first thing. Your prospects will appreciate your professionalism, and that's basically all it is. You want to conduct yourself as a professional, and so when you say you're going to do something as a professional, get it done. Just do it. Keep your word. Integrity. Number 2 is you want to continually set up one exposure after another. So as you've, let's say you presented, you made the presentation to someone, they're interested. You tell them that you're going to follow up, you're going to call them, whatever. Like, make sure you set that up and then do it. You know what I mean? You want to go from one exposure to another and essentially continue that education process. You want to continually give your prospect different angles, different stories, so that they can get a better sense of what it is you're doing, what it is the product is about, how it works, how your business, how you get compensated, things of that nature. Like, you just want to continually keep them essentially in the loop. Number 3, just know that it takes multiple exposures before before your prospect is going to pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Like, they're not just going to, like I said, they're not going to pull the trigger. They're not going to join. They're not going to buy your product on that first exposure. It's going to take multiple times, multiple exposures. So that means essentially multiple follow-ups. Number 4, Essentially, what you want to do with all of this, with these multiple exposures, you want to try to condense the time. Like you don't want to present today, then follow up in 2 weeks, and then follow up, for the next exposure in like a month from that 2 weeks. That's too long of an exposure. Ideally, you want, maybe 1, 2 days, and then you're following up. And hey, here's another thing. And hey, here's something else. And hey, like just continually keep that dialogue going. Stay in front of your prospect. Let them know that you're here for them, that you're a professional, that this is not, some hobby that you're working on, that this is not, a joke to you, that you're serious about this. You know what I mean? So continuously show up for them. And so, yeah, so first, do what you say you're going to do. Be a professional. 2, set up exposure after exposure. 3, it's going to take, keep in mind that it's going to take multiple exposures. It could be 3 times, it could be 10 times, it could be 20. That all depends on, your prospect and how comfortable they are with you, how well they know you, that relationship. That'll determine how many exposures you'll need to convert them. And the last one was to condense the time between exposures. Again, don't wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then follow up. Let's do it today. You follow up tomorrow, and then maybe 2 days, and then another 2 days. Like keep it consistent. Let keep showing up and giving them, giving them more information, more value about your product, about more success stories that happen. Find those stories within your company or your upline. Let them, find the resources and share those resources with your prospect. And so I have a little a pretty simple system that I share with my team, and it's essentially all of those steps that I've talked about. I keep track of that within a spreadsheet document. And I've spoke about this in the past, but it kind of ties in pretty well here with this whole follow-up, this whole talk about following up. And so, like I said, I have a spreadsheet, and I have a couple of tabs on the spreadsheet. One is for leads, one is for prospects, one is for customers, another tab for promoters, and another tab for my team. So obviously these are pretty self-explanatory. My leads tab, I have everybody that I've kind of interacted. If I post something and they like it, or they heart, they give me a little heart, or they comment, like all of those I drop into my leads tab. And from there I start building that relationship. I'll take, several of them a day, and I'll just literally reach out to them through Messenger, and I'll say, hey, how you doing? How's everything? How's the business? How the kids? How's life? Just essentially getting to know them. And then when I get to the point where, I'm ready to move them into my, more directly into my funnel, or, when I present to them, then they'll move into the prospects tab. And at that point, when they're in the prospects tab, that's when I drop them into what we call, basically a secret group in Facebook. And what I do in that group is that I share a bunch of success stories and, product reviews and some last minute promotions, or, giveaways, things of that nature. You just want to, again, as part of the follow-up, you want to continuously be in front of your audience, you know what I mean? Or the people that you're following up with. And this group essentially allows me to do that, essentially, you know what I mean? Like with the group, I'm always posting, and I have other team members that are posting into the group. And so it kind of works twofold, where I can be building relationships, and then I have the group where once I put them in the group, then they're being educated. And then they're being followed up with pretty much on a daily basis. and then I'll just touch base with them every 2 days, every 3 days, maybe once a week. Some of them, if I've been touching base with them, maybe once a month. And I just go through that until they either make a decision, yes or no. And this is essentially working like, as they say, it's working like gangbusters. And, my team is essentially growing. And that's why I figured, let me jot these notes down and share this with you. And if somebody can get some value out of that, if they can, maybe implement that into their business and have some success with that, then that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I would love to hear if you guys actually do implement that and you're able to get it running, excuse me, get it running and have it, start using it to build your team. That'll be awesome. And so, and then obviously from there, once they become a customer or promoter, depending on which way my conversation with them goes, what I feel the best need is for them, in their life. If I feel like they would be, a better promoter, if they would benefit more from being a promoter, or if they would benefit more from using the products, then I would gear, I would put them in the appropriate spreadsheet tab. Obviously I put them in the group. Once they decide to make the next step, then I move them into different tabs. And this just kind of keeps me organized, because then I kind of know who's where and how to talk to them. Like someone that's in my leads tab, I'm not going to talk to them in the same way or in the same manner as someone who's already a promoter or, a customer. You know what I mean? I'm going to treat them differently. I'm going to talk to them differently, because at that point they're already educated. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I don't need to re-educate them. I don't want to spend or extra time that I don't have. You know what I mean? I want to be as efficient as possible, and this spreadsheet helps me follow up, helps me be efficient, and it helps me build my business. So that's about all I have for today. I hope you found value out of this training today. If you did, share this with your team, with your uplines, your downlines, your sidelines. Share this with whoever it is that you feel needs to hear this message. Let's just get the message out there. And if you're looking for more advanced training in attraction marketing or building funnels or generating leads, then I highly suggest that you get on my 10-day online recruiting bootcamp, where my mentor, Fernie Ceballos, will essentially break down all the parts of a successful online marketing campaign and what it takes, what you need to do, and he'll just give you more detail on how it works and how you can use it to build your business online like a professional. And also, if you're not aware of, I'm always looking for hungry individuals looking to build a lifestyle of their own, one that they can, one of their dreams, a lifestyle that that they want or that they deserve. If that sounds like you, and you're ready to take this by the horns and run with it, then drop me a message, send me a line, let me know that you're interested, that you're open, that you want to hear, that you want to work with me. Let's get the dialogue going. Let's see where you're at. Let's see what you need, and we'll take it from there. Until the next video, take care now. Bye.